so much. Thank you so much, Pushpa, for this time. Honestly, my boss, Andrew Steele, he's the CEO of Plant a Tree Today Foundation. It's based out of Thailand. And we are also registered in United Kingdom, apart from APAC. And we have done significant projects in South Africa, Brazil. And then we have started this operation in India when I met Andy in United Kingdom. So I was doing my MBA in strategic carbon management, which is even till date, I would say that of all the MBAs that we have started in India, MBA in strategic carbon management, people say, Vash, why you have selected it in the first place? And before even we ask it, let us know what is strategic carbon management. That is probably 2009, 2010. I mean, I did the MBA, completed it in 2009. And then we started discussing with Andy how to go about it. It was all about carbon sequestration and it was all about mitigation, and we worked on it. At the end of the day, we thought that, as Pushpa, you rightly pointed out, why to reinvent the wheel? You want to talk about carbon, you want to talk about everything. The best way to actually reduce carbon footprint is plant as many trees as possible. And there is no doubts about it. There are certain things you want to debate, things can go on and on, but the best way to work is just get on the ground and do what is needed to be. So this is where we started with our, I would say, the Indian chapter. I can go on and on with the projects that we have done, and I'm sure that all of you as part of NGO, of some charity, of whatever organization that you work, everybody has done a lot of work, and even we have done. Everybody has a way to work, and even we have done the same work. In India, we work on a very different basis, as in, we don't really have operational cost, as we call it. What we did was, rather than, as one of the guys, I was listening to in the first half, he said that, we focus a lot on research before we actually hit the ground. But what we thought was, rather than getting things done on paper, roping in PhD guys, what we did was we actually went to the ground saying that, okay, if we have to plant trees on this particular ground, and we actually started liaising with the chota-mota guy on the ground, the whatever you call it, who actually does the plantation, कि यहाँ पे होता क्या है, what is the best tree to come up with plantation on that particular land. And more or less you will say कि he's the best guy because generation के साथ में we went to Panvel, he said कि यार मैं तो यहाँ पे जमाने से रह रहा हूँ, why do you have to have guys from all over the world to tell me what has to be planted. Like for example, this is a kind of case study, and how many of you have actually heard of a plant called as Pongomia? I wonder if you have heard of it. It's a very beautiful plant. It's not a plant, it's a small tree. And every part of Pongomia is very useful. Uske jo seeds hote hain, we can actually come up with oil, we can use it. We can actually substitute it for gasoline. And similarly, it is a very good, one of the most useful way of carbon mitigation. Carbon absorption ratio is higher than most plants. Last but the not least, it is very low maintenance plant. एक बार लग गया तो लग गया, और बहुत लोग उसको बोलते हैं जंगली plant है, which is just that people don't know, because they want to go dwell so much into it. They say यार इसमें तो कुछ है ही नहीं, एक बार लग जाता है तो ये हटता है. So what's wrong with it? I mean, it's so useful of a plant. Why not go ahead with Pongomia? And then one fine day we came to know that there is some doctor in UK who says that India में है और APEC में भी है, and it's a beautiful plant, we should go ahead with plantation. And then one fine day I see that 3 months back, after this doctor in UK says, everybody says that, Vash, let's do plantation in Pongomia. I said, how come you heard of Pongomia? He says, I read from somebody in UK. I said, okay, fantastic. Back to square one, as you said, reinventing the way. Similarly, I started liaising with defense organizations. The naval forces, they came to us and they helped a lot. They provided us land, and which is the most important thing. If you want to do a tree plantation, I would say, what do you need? I mean, you need somebody who want to fund the project. And what else do you need for a sapling? It's very common sense. You need ground. आज के डेट में अगर बॉम्बे में आपके पास ground है, do you want to do tree plantation? Do you? Hardly. I would say, अगर आपके पास अगर एक फ्लैट भी खड़ा करने की जगह है तो फिर लाइफ टाइम सिक्योर्ड है, बच्चे खुश हैं, सब खुश हैं, honestly. But sourcing the land was far more important than how to plant a tree. Plantation एक बच्चा भी कर लेता है, जंगल में अगर आप seeds फेंको तो वो उग जाते हैं, झाड़ बन जाते हैं. And this was a big challenge when I started. पहला साल तो I traveled throughout India asking कि यार land मिलना कहाँ से है. So the defense forces came in full support. This is Vash, कितनी ज़मीन चाहिए? You have to make sure that you have to work our way. And it was a learning curve for me, because if you want to learn something, I'm not really going through the slides. Reason being, the slides are about the projects that we have done in Thailand, Burma, APAC, what we have done in UK, what we have done in, because we people are in India, we are connecting far better. So, you know, let's keep it candid, and at the same time, we'll keep catching during the breaks. So if you want to really go through the projects, I will be there more useful. The defense, coming back to the point, as I said, coming back to the defense forces, they actually taught us how to go about plantation. They actually taught us how to go about the plantation. अगर terrain होता है, how to do the plantation, pit कितना बड़ा होना चाहिए. What I have seen is most of the people that I come across, they say, Vash, हमारा tree plantation का survival. The quality of work has to explain. Quality of work in tree plantation is nothing but your survival rate. आप आज आपने 100 sapling लगाए थे. If 3 months or 6 months down the line I come there and out of 100, if only 10 are there, do you think it's a good quality work? I think not. People say that we can't help it. It's a sapling, you know, the animals come in, they graze, we can't help it. So you have to take precaution and you have to make sure that quality of your work has to talk. So when I come and audit the project, you have to make sure that the sustainable rate has to be there. And you have to do what not it takes to make sure that the sapling you planted, is there. It can be audited for tree plantation. Auditing is very important. Transparency is very important.